Lovely to be with you. Serene Damaki with you here on ABC Radio's weekend evenings right across the country. And this hour, well, it's pretty much all about water, the beauty of water, surfing, swimming, and also water safety. We're going to be talking swimming and diving as well. So I also want your favourite songs that hold wonderful memories of the beach, the pool, and I mentioned earlier the beauty of water. We're going to need those for our mixtape a little later this hour. But of course, Eastern school holidays are coming up, and though a lot of beaches are closed on the East Coast at the moment due to floodwaters, by next weekend things should have cleared, and people around the nation will be jumping into the oceans, lakes, rivers, Australia's wonderful waterways. Yes. Winter is not here just yet. But it is so important to be aware of the risks and teach your children water safety. So to this end, one of our favourite lifesavers, who is also a firefighter, Trent Maxwell, has just launched a new children's print book appropriately titled Maxi's Beach Rescue. You'd know Maxi from the TV show Bondi Rescue. And he's with us now, along with co-writer Leigh Mason, who has partnered with him for a social enterprise online community platform that aims to teach kids vital surf, water and fire safety, rescue and life skills. And they're with us in the studio, which is so exciting.
It's good to be
Hello,
here.
Leigh. Hello.
Yeah, great to be here.
It is amazing to be here. Considering I work at the fire station around the corner, I've been here many times for fire alarms. So.
Oh, there you go. But
good
this
to
is
be
a
here.
way more fun way to be
definitely
here, right?
is.
Yeah,
Definitely is.
Totally. All right. Well, and it's Maxi, right? We've heard he was Maxi. So it's Trent Maxwell, but we call you Maxi.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
kind of rolls off the
Excellent.
tongue a bit
It
easier.
does indeed. So you know all about learning surf and water safety skills from a young age. How'd you become a surf lifesaver?
Lifesaver. So it's a funny one. So I was very lucky at an early age. Mum and Dad got me in swimming quite young.
Yeah.
And
How young's quite young?
I think 18 months.
Yeah.
So just learning, like the fundamental, it's very important. And as we talk throughout the night, we'll get into the reasons why you should learn to swim. But I was very lucky at an early age to learn how to swim. But there's a bit of a funny story. I actually did sailing as a sport as a kid, like between 7 and 9 years old. And I was petrified. I hated the water. I actually had to get rescued. Fell out of the boat one day and had to get rescued. Had a year off sport. And Mum and Dad took me down to South Maroubra Surf Club. And I did nippers and fell in love with nippers and did stuff with the local surf club there. And then when I went through high school, I wanted to do a traineeship or a work experience with the lifeguards because I had a real big interest in eventually becoming a firefighter. I knew it would have been a good stepping stone. And I emailed Hoppo, one of the head lifeguards down at Bondi, to see if I could do work experience in year 10. And he got back to me. I did a week down there. And then after that year of doing work experience, they offered me a traineeship. And I've been there 16 years now.
Wow. Wow. What you said in terms of telling us about yourself as a kid and that experience and being petrified with water, how'd you come back from that? I just think about that with children. I've got a 7-year-old, same as you. We started her on about 18 months.
Yep.
And she's been a little bit of a fish and she's just kept going, but her fear factor is, not all kids are the same. Whereas my best friend's child, very different very different sort of fear of water. How did you come back from that? Experience?
I'm just trying to think about it now. It's everyone's different. Everyone's unique. I just remember as a young child, I used to hate being in big open water.
Yeah, right.
And, being the thought of getting sucked out of the heads of Bondi Bay, I was quite petrified of that. And I used to have dreams as a kid of that. And then it's funny that, 3 years later, I'm down at South Maroubra running and doing, all the water stuff with the kids down there. And I just kind of grew out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And just kind of...
You moved on from it.
It was kind of like a different setting, different theme. And, maybe having the surf lifesavers of the parents around there, helping out the kids, maybe I felt a bit safer than just being in a sailing boat by myself. So maybe that was a difference. But
no, fair enough. And like you said, every kid's different. So when I gave you the example of my friend's daughter, for her, the driver was seeing how my daughter would just jump and have the freedom in the water. And she's like, I want that. I don't want to be scared of the water anymore. I want to be able to do what she's doing to not exactly the same, but just wanted to get rid of that fear factor that she held. And she really pleaded with her parents, put me into lessons. I want lessons. I want to be able to do what Alyssa's doing. Yeah. What about you, Leigh? What are your memories of water as a child?
Yeah, well, I am very, very different. Maxi obviously grew up by the ocean, but my accent, I grew up in the Midlands of the UK. But my mum was a swimming teacher. So very similar around water. Swimming was 3-4 times a week. I used to go straight from primary school to the pool after school, and my mum was a real pioneer of getting kids over their fear of water. So it was just so second nature to me that learning to swim was like a really important thing. My mum sort of drilled it down and taught thousands of kids to swim. And that's like something that Maxi always talks about, that it's so important to learn to swim.
Tell us about Live, Learn, Survive.
Yeah, so Live, Learn, Survive, Maxi and I started 3 years ago. Because just saying of my background, when we met, we obviously had something very much in common. And meeting Maxi and knowing his background...
How'd you meet?
We met through a friend about 7 years ago.
Right.
And we started, my background was actually fashion. So we started with a swimwear label, and Maxi came on board as an ambassador for the brand. But with my background of knowing about water safety, it may have been the reason that we met, but it certainly wasn't the most important thing of the work we were going to do together.
Right.
So we founded Live, Learn, Survive, that was basically to give every child the opportunity, no matter, their background, their location, every child gets the opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
And the wisdom from Maxi.
I think she's forgetting too that we've travelled to the UK 3 times, and we've travelled all around Australia teaching kids at surf clubs, schools and libraries.
Talk it up.
Yeah, we've done really well. In COVID kind of hit everyone hard, but we managed to take a lot of our stuff online, digital platform, which we can talk about throughout the show, about what we've created and we've launched, Maxi's Rescue Squad. But yeah, Live, Learn, Survive, social enterprise. It's just me and Leigh. Leigh lives in Brisbane. I live in Sydney. So yeah, we make it work.
Yeah, you make it work.
13,000 kids so far.
Well, I was going to right.
Yes.
So how? Because that's that component around the opportunity for children, regardless of their background, regardless of their social economic status. It's about every child having the opportunity, almost by right, to learn water safety and learn how to swim.
So we Live, Learn, Survive. We've got the workshops. We teach water safety, fire safety, just general life skills. We've got the Rescue Squad, which is an online safe platform for kids from all over the world can tune in and learn life skills. We also have the books that we're here as well. And our goal is to have the books in every library to give every child the opportunity to read them, to learn as well. Have kids join up to the Rescue Squad so they can get a video each month, activities each week, and a live Q&A of all the stuff they learnt in the video that I've done. I do all the filming and all the editing myself.
Oh, wow.
So it's all through a fun, safe platform. We have the app. Any questions you have with that, I'm sure we can talk through the rest of the show about that. But
and so, given you had to go online, so how does it work? You mentioned you've got 13,000 sort of children.
Yep, that we've met face to face.
That you've met face to face.
In 3 years. In 3 years, 13,000 children face to face.
So it's through the workshops, it's through, you mentioned the app, and through schools, which is huge.
Libraries.
And it's the opportunity for what they've learned and heard and taken in through experiencing Live, Learn, Survive, to then put that into practice in the water. Is that the idea?
It's not just about water. That's the beauty of it. So I'll give you an example. So it only just started. We only launched it about 2 weeks ago. And the first month or the first episode is about rips. And it's just 20 minutes of me explaining rips, what to do in rips, how to get out of a rip. It's me with a GoPro in a rip at Bondi, in a rip down at Stanwell Park, me talking about it face to face to the camera. And then I just filmed 2 weeks ago, I was up in Queensland and I filmed a river segment, and it was actually before all the floods, ironically. And the place that I was filming, I filmed on the Tweed River, I filmed at Currumbin Valley, and I filmed at the Brisbane River. In all three places, past tense, I was speaking about how it's been flooded over the years, and talked about the 2011 Brisbane floods, spoke about Currumbin Valley, how it was a lot of rain, it can catch people out in creeks. And I actually, in the video that I've put for the episode 2, I got the video of me in the creek, and then literally 5 days later, Channel 7 did a thing, and the whole place is, and I actually think someone lost their life.
Yeah, not too far away in South Queensland.
So, so what I'm trying is I try and shine light on the risks and hazards, and trying to get kids and parents like yourself to have an awareness and have a discussion and kind of understand what could go wrong, and unfortunately it does happen to good people.
And I think that's important. Hearing you talk about this RIP episode, which I'm going to check out myself, because even though I'm a grown-up, I went to swimming lessons when I was a kid. So admittedly, there are certain things I've probably forgotten. And when I'm out in the water, and it's been a while, it doesn't happen as often as it used to, but it's things like that, oh, hang on, what am I supposed to do here again? So I think... I thumbs up for the kids, but hey, you're also, in terms of just parents and grown-ups alike. I just think it's amazing, because as a firefighter as well, I've been a lifeguard for 16 years and I've been a firefighter for the last nearly 6 years. I work at the both busiest beach in Australia, and I work at the busiest fire station in Australia. And then with the Live, Learn, Survive stuff we do, I have the experience and the knowledge, and what I see for everyday life, I kind of put it into these workshops and these visits and these schools and these books, and doing these videos online. And the beauty of it is we have only been gone for a week, and we've got kids in 3 continents joined up. So it's a worldwide. It is the biggest. Yeah. It is the biggest online rescue squad in the world. Great. So it's amazing. So then I have to do people realise that you are an actual lifesaver and firefighter, or are you just referred to as the actor in that Bondi rescue show thing? Yeah, a lot of people, it's like TV. Everyone thinks it's all fake and stuff, but it's very much real. Lifesaver. It's very much real. The Bondi rescue and all the stuff that we do. But the amazing is. The things that I've dealt with and seen over the years, my legacy that I want to give back to not just, people that are around me, but people around the world, just give them knowledge and understanding of how to get out of stressful situations, and how they can not only help themselves, but help other people as well. Tell us about Maxi's Beach Rescue. I have a copy of the book here in front of me. Thank you so much for bringing it in. So this is, I just want to get something clear. You've done other books before, but this is your first children's print, picture book? So this is my fourth book. I'm like, you've done other books. Why is this a first? But the first 3 were for kind of a novel, fictional. It was called Maxi the Lifeguard, and it was catered for 7 to 13-year-olds, and it was more of a chapter book, and it's kind of like loosely based in Bondi, loosely based on my childhood. However, this book here, myself and Leigh self-published. Me and Leigh both co-wrote, and we also had our illustrator, Paul Doran, who is also a retained firefighter down Wollongong. Great. And we got together and we come up with this masterpiece of Maxi's Beach Rescue. Tell me more about it. What is... Yeah. Well, I'm flicking through the pages now. Tell me what I'm experiencing. As easy as it is to explain. It's a story about 7-year-old Maxi. Yep. Goes to the beach, gets a brand new footy for his birthday. Him and his dad and mum and sister hanging down the beach. They park up near a dangerous current sign, near the flags, but not in between the flags. So it's kind of like, setting that scene of knowing to make sure you stay between the flags. But, fast forward the story. Dad kicks the footy, goes through Maxi's fingers, hits the hard sand, skims along the shoreline into the rip. Maxi just runs straight in. And obviously through the illustrations, you'll see how, sandbanks can collapse and how rips are there. And, Maxi goes in, tries to get his ball, gets stuck in a rip. And instead of the parent rushing or the carer rushing into the water to save Maxi, he goes and turns around, assesses the situation and gets a lifeguard. While Maxi's out in the rip, he remembers what he got taught in school of remaining calm, raise your weaker hand, and,
just help us on its way. So there's a few different hidden messages. There's also a fun activity page at the back. So we've got a word search, and we also got a code breaker. We've got some colouring in pages, and we've also got some hidden fish in each illustration. So there's kind of like all different sorts of little tricks. And because here in Australia we have red and yellow flags, but in the actual book the flags are whited out because this book is a worldwide book. We've already sold a number overseas. We have a big presence in America, UK, Ireland, Scotland.
Well, for a self-published book, that's really impressive.
So the flag system, so there's a part in the book at the end where it gets the kids to go and research their local beach or their local area or their country and work out what colour their swimming flags are. So it's,
Right.
So
what colour their swimming flags are, so it differs. It's not a universal colour.
There's probably 80% of the world is red and yellow.
Okay.
However, there's parts of America and other countries in Europe that have a different flag system where it's either red for danger, green for swimming, and like an orange flag for like it's dangerous.
Like the traffic light system, right?
So it's just kind of getting them thinking out loud because, the problem we have with tourists down at Bondi, they see the red and yellow flags and they think, red and yellow could mean danger.
Yeah, it could mean this or it could
they
mean
avoid that area. And then a lot of the time it's where the waves are breaking because it's a shallow sandbank. So they go where the waves aren't breaking, which indicates where the rip is. And there you go. It's a vicious cycle.
And you mentioned something about when you were talking about the book and the story in the book, you mentioned something about raising your weaker hand. So when you're caught in a rip, you go on your back and what do you mean by raising your weaker hand?
So, it's more just to, if you need to doggy paddle or kind of use your stronger hand to help keep you afloat on top of the water. So you could egg beat kick, you can kind of have your arm waving underneath the water to just kind of help you prop you up. You have a little bit of luck on your side in salt water because it's a bit more buoyant, so you'll be able to stay a little bit more buoyant. In freshwater, it's a bit harder to stay afloat. But we just kind of wanted to get that message out there to kind of pick and choose which hand to use.
Yeah. If you've just joined us, you're with me, Serene Damaki, on ABC Radio's National Weekend Evenings, and I'm joined by Trent Maxi Maxwell, lifeguard and firefighter, author also of Maxi's Beach Rescue, and you may also know him from the hit TV show Bondi Rescue, and also Leigh Mason, Live, Learn, Survive, social enterprise partner as well with Maxi. Leigh, you looked like you were about to jump in and say a bit more on what Maxi
I was
saying.
just going to say, it's just such a simple message, like raising your weaker hand, but it's amazing how many people don't realise that if you are going to put a hand in the air, it is the weaker hand that you put up, and it's those little things that if they can be instilled into children at 3-4 years old, it's a lesson that will just stay with them. And it'll just be, if they ever need it, it'll just be there for them to recall.
I got a bit ahead of myself, but with the first 3 books that we created, or I created at the start, they were from 7 to 13-year-olds. But when me and Leigh come up with this concept, we wanted to kind of get the 0 to 7-year-olds. So we wanted to bridge that gap so kids from right at an early age to really understand and learn, beach safety, water safety.
Absolutely.
We knew that people had got younger children and they were reading the other books out loud to, they weren't old enough to read the books yet, so they were reading them out loud. So we were just like, right, okay, we'll go the other way around and then we'll do the prequel.
How many times did you get the old, I just had a newborn, they'll read it in 6 years' time. Yeah, no worries.
Thank
you
right.
for the support.
It's a newborn gift. Okay, all right. Yes, not sure of a name yet to sign it to, but
they're a tricky audience. How did you find the process? Obviously, your first children's picture book, self-published, written by both you, Leigh, and you, Maxi. How did you find it? How was the process?
Well, we learn a lot. We learn a lot from our first experience with getting published with the first 3 books, having a different business look after it. We knew what worked and what didn't work, and
and it was kind of different as well because even prior to the first 3 books coming out, Maxi and I had already been over to the UK once. We already, whilst we didn't have Live, Learn, Survive as a company at that stage, we we really knew what we wanted to set out and do.
You had a vision.
So we already were sort of 18 months in. We had, a big following of what we were doing. And that was like in addition to the huge following globally that Maxi has because of people, knowing him from Bondi Rescue. So we were in a little bit of a different situation. We'd already got the business established. We were already out on the road. We just needed to name it and decide what we were, going to, do some of those logistics kind of things.
How did you land on the name?
It was... it was a bit like, what did they say, that it does what it says on the tin? It's so basically it was like, the from children right up to teenagers, because the age group that follow is very vast. So basically it's live life to the full, learn life-saving skills and survive for a bright future. So that every child can learn and reach their full potential. That's the whole. Yeah. So it's quite simple. That's what it stands for.
Yeah, and like with Maxi's Beach Rescue, we kind of just come up with that. Like you said, it was just something that we saw. But we're already working on book 5, which is going to cater to river rescue. It'll be Maxi's River Rescue,
right.
And then
it'll be a children's picture book as well.
So it's going to be the series of these 3. So the first one's beach related, the next one's going to be river flood related, and then the third one we're tossing up between boating accidents or a boating accident or a swimming pool, because a lot of people don't realise that more people drown inland here in Australia than on the coastal areas, and it's amazing that there is a lot of awareness about the coastal drownings and the awareness out there. However, we kind of want to put a bit of light on the inland stuff, because there's still a lot of people passing away, unfortunately, in rivers, lakes and dams all around Australia and if not the world.
Drownings in rivers and inland waterways is vastly on the increase, where, I think all the awareness around beach safety, whilst there's still drownings, like the message is starting to get heard, and there's lifeguards there, around rivers and inland waterways and creeks, still a lot of work to be done.
And we didn't want to stop with just books. Like, it's amazing what other people come up with books, and there's a lot of great books out there, but we wanted to keep adding on to what we can offer through Live, Learn, Survive, and what we do instead of face-to-face. We've got the books, and we also got the Maxi's Rescue Squad, where we can go into these situations and talk about how we can change the statistic. I can't say the word. the statistic where only 9% of kids know a life skill. So we want to bring that right up. And I know by creating Maxi's Rescue Squad through Live, Learn, Survive and with Leigh, I know that kids and parents and families all around the world, not just Australia, around the world will learn something and they'll survive for a brighter future.
The messages we get from parents where, kids have learnt something and been able to, been empowered to be able to make a decision or deal with a quite a stressful situation for a child, and that they've, had some kind of knowledge of what to do. That's magic. That's why we do it. And we wait to those messages from all over the world, like daily.
So what's the message for parents for Easter and school holidays?
Yeah, well, obviously we just had the floods and stuff like that, so just keep away from floodwaters and have your flood evacuation plans in place. But, coming to the back end of this week in Sydney, we had some nice weather. So obviously, the beaches, I know in Sydney, are still open with red and yellow flags. So if you are going away these Easter school holidays, make sure you swim at patrol beaches where there are lifeguards, council lifeguards. I know the surf lifesaving movement finish at the end of, I think, around Anzac Day or the long weekend, I'm guessing. So, yeah, if you are going, just make sure you swim at patrol beaches between the red and yellow flags, drink plenty of water, have plenty of food, keep that energy levels up, know your surroundings, make sure you have reception in case you do need help. Just know the risks and hazards in the areas that you're travelling to.
Mm. And what about the book? How do people get their hands on Maxi's Beach Rescue? It's gorgeous, by the way. Congratulations. It really is. It's so vibrant.
I'm so happy with it.
You should be.
So at the because me and Leigh, we've self-published. You can only at the moment get it through our website, which is lifeguardmaxi.com.au. Maxi with an I, so MAXI. they're all signed. You get bookmarks. You get a nice little gift from us, and we send it all from us. It's just, there's no
and also as well, we have a program called Gift a Book, Save a Life, because people can also buy a book and we'll donate it to somewhere that of their choice, or we quite often get people that will buy a book and just ask us to put it to somewhere, that of our choice, and that's where we try and get it into school libraries.
I've got a quick story.
Go
a lady. This is one when we first started it. We had a lady in America, Philadelphia. Was it Philadelphia?
Yeah.
No, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And she got in contact with us. She goes, I know that there's a lot of disadvantaged Indigenous kids in the northern Australia. I'd love to donate a set of books to a community, Indigenous community. So me and Leigh did our searches, and we noticed a place, the Tiwi Islands. Yep. So a lady from on the other side of the world, Gift a Book, Save a Life, got these books, and we donated a set of these books to the Tiwi Islands. So kids
college in the Tiwi Islands.
And that's just one. So today we had our book launch last night. We had a couple of guests come last night, and they wanted to donate to their school. And it was a local Sydney school. So today I went to the school and hand delivered them to them.
Great.
I had another firefighter grew up in Zimbabwe in Africa, and he's like, yep. Can you donate them to a school? And so it's all about giving back and giving the kids in these areas an opportunity to read and learn.
That's great. It's excellent. So this is your baby. It's what you're spending all the time. That you've got on. I get it. I know. Especially from a self-published author perspective, I get exactly what you mean.
It does get a bit, bit bigger than, it takes on a sort of life of its own.
Well, I'm still a full-time firefighter. I'm actually working at Hurstville.
That's what I was going to say. You're doing that?
I'm at Hurstville Fire Station tomorrow, and I'm at Bronte Beach on Sunday, and then I'm back in the City of Sydney Fire Station on Monday.
Right. And more TV work coming up as well?
Yes, we got...
So that means you do all the work. He doesn't do anything.
Look, we're a great team. We are a great team.
We're a team.
Yeah,
We're a great team. I love that. You know what I love is, the fact that I can have 3 or 4 different things going, and I can give 100% to whatever I'm doing for that day. And, multiple uniforms. However, I love how that all correlates into one area, and my experiences and my knowledge... It just gets bigger and better every day, from still being current as a lifeguard, still being current as a firefighter, still travelling around. I was in Brisbane last week. I'm in Victoria next week. So in between fire shifts and lifeguarding, myself and Leigh are travelling around Australia because we can now after COVID.
Yes, borders were an issue.
Yeah, I was going to say, minus the paperwork.
There's probably people listening going, how do they do it? But we manage and we do it.
You just make it work because you've got a vision for it, and you've got something you want to put out there.
Absolutely. And when you've got that vision, and you just see, now that we've got the squad as well, even in a week, the messages that kids want to, I think this year more than anything, like a sense of belonging. Mm-hmm. And there's such scary places online. We've even got police supporting us with helping us because we're working with kids online. We want it to be a safe space, and that kids come first at everything we do. That's it. That's the priority.
And look, like you said, it's definitely a vision. It starts off like that, it grows, and then it kind of turns into a bit of an obligation. So now,
we're in.
Yeah, we're in.
We're not going anywhere.
We've been 3 years, and I always say to Leigh, the foundations have been put in. We're just waiting for the pour of the concrete. We're just about to start building, and it's exciting. And I'm looking forward to seeing 13,000 kids so far. We're aiming for 20,000 kids for 2020, but obviously COVID wasn't ideal. So this year we're still trying to get to that mark of 20,000 plus. And we got different things through Live, Learn, Survive that could help us reach that goal by buying a book or getting a book to join the rescue squad, or us coming to your school or your library or your local sporting club and teaching water, fire safety or general life skills.
Wonderful.
The great thing about what really became through COVID and having to go online, we first thing really out of concern for the kids, we started setting challenges because it was scary times for adults, never mind about kids. And then we started doing quizzes, and we had no idea where these kids were gonna come online from. we had Sweden. We had a teenage lifeguards on the Greek islands talking to kids that were lifeguards at water parks in America, telling each other what they learned and how they learned. Maxi and I were all almost like bystanders, just going, "Whoa, what have we hit on here?"
Yeah.
And then, we even watched sunrise on a lake in Canada.
Canada, of all places, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing, the community and the people out there that are willing to learn and have a sense of belonging. And we're kind of creating that space, or we are creating that space where kids that have aspirations to potentially be paramedics, nurses, firefighters, police officers, surf lifesavers, lifeguards.
Yeah.
A farmer. You could just be a farmer and know these life skills, because you never know. The thing is, when I do a lot of the water stuff, I don't go to the beach. I don't swim in the water. But fast forward 10, 15 years, you might be on a boat, or you might be at a place with a big pier, and all of a sudden someone bumps you, you fall in the water. What are you going to do then? So I'm kind of a bit of a realist when things do happen to unfortunate events. And as a firefighter and a lifeguard, I see it all the time. Car accidents, major rescues. A lot of the time, these people don't mean to be there, and they find themselves in it. It's just how you react, how you adapt, and how you get through it. And we're kind of just bridging the gap of, instead of just jumping in the deep end and just learning it when it actually happens to you, we're kind of setting it up for, if it was to happen to you, this is what you need to do. And the beauty of it is, not many people are really doing what we're doing, where we're kind of covering everything. There's a lot of great organisations that are doing the one thing, but we're trying to put a big umbrella over everything and give kids and adults an understanding of how to...
We do it a little bit differently. Our whole thing is about making learning fun, so that kids are learning and they don't even realise they're learning. So it's just, we're a little bit different. Neither of us were the most academic of, but you know what interests yourself. You know what engages yourself. So that's the goal. Make kids learn and they don't even realise it.
Leigh, Maxi, congratulations, honestly.
Thank you.
Wonderful
Thank you.
work that you're doing. Congrats on the book.
Thank you so much.
All the best with the fifth, and then you've got another one in the pipeline as well, or is it the fourth?
Yeah, so this is the fourth one.
This one's the fourth one,
and
yes.
We're,
The fifth,
we're working
you've got
on the
pipeline
fifth
on
one,
the
which
fifth.
is Maxi's River Rescue, potentially.
Excellent.
And then the next one after that would be either boat or pool related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Onward and upward indeed. And
We like to be
globally, it's
busy.
wonderful.
But yeah, if you want to find us, find us on socials, Live, Learn, Survive.
Yeah, remind us of the
Lifeguard
website where
Maxi.
you can get the book, and tell us about those socials again.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Go ahead.
yep. So the website where you can get the books is lifeguardmaxi with an i.com.au. And you can follow us on Live, Learn, Survive AU through Facebook and Instagram. And you can find me, Lifeguard Maxi, on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
And everything's on there. If you want to ask
all the
us,
links,
get in
everything,
touch.
all the links, everything. If you remember the website, you'll be able to find everything else.
Trent, Maxi Maxwell, lifeguard and firefighter, author of Maxi's Beach Rescue, Leigh Mason. Thank you. Live, Live, Learn, Survive social enterprise partner. And you're both a wonderful duo and a wonderful team. And now we kind of ask our guests to kick off our mixtape, because as you go, we're just going to play some music for the rest of the evening. No, I'm kidding. We'll play some music for a little bit, and that we'll theme it around kind of what we've talked about. And we did ask you, and thank you for giving us. Let me just see here what we've got in terms of your suggestions. So, what have we got?
Kind
I've
of
got Ice House. Who went for Ice House?
Oh, Leigh kind of like
Yeah,
that.
that was me.
That
Because
was your pick?
obviously I was born a long way away, and I fell in love with Australia from the first few steps. So I particularly love this song.
And I'm Little River Band, Help Is On Its Way, because that's a classic. And
What was your one?
Little River Band.
Little River Band?
Hang On, Help Is On Its Way.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
too.
That is a
Yeah,
great, kind of
that's-
fits the scene.
Kind of fits if you're a
It's an
lifeguard and a
Aussie band,
firefighter, doesn't
Victorian
it?
band.
Hey?
It's good.
Absolutely. I reckon we'll kick off with
You
Ice
nailed it.
House. And then yours. Again, Leigh, Maxi,
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks,
really
everyone. Bye.
appreciate it.